The story of Akin begins on a quiet morning in a lively neighborhood where life was simple, and most of the people in this area were serious-minded people facing their individual businesses. Akin was only 7 years old at that time. He was innocent, full of energy that only children understand. He was in primary 5, attended a school not too far from their house. The school was so close enough for him to walk by himself, and that was a huge blessing to his mother, Mrs. Okoro, because she had no one else to look on or rely on in order to take care of Akin. Every morning, long before the sun will rise, Mrs. Okoro will wake up early because she sells vegetable in the market, and she was always struggling just to make ends meet. She would bath Akin quickly, dress him up in his uniform, and hurried him out of the house so that she could rush to the market to sell her vegetable. She loved her son so much and wanted to be with him, but survival demand long hours, of course. And Akin, in his own little way, even though he was a child, he understand very well. Their compound was a lively one and full of all kinds of characters. But in this compound, one person stood out, a woman everyone called Antonene. She was big, always tying wrapper on her chest, and she claimed to everyone that she was working at home, although nobody ever saw the work that she was doing, rather than gossiping, always laughing out loud over silly jokes, and most of the time she would stay inside pretending to be working, but nothing was showing for it. And to Akin, like a child, she was just another familiar face in the compound. One afternoon, when Akin returned from school, tired and hungry, the house was empty. His mother was still in the market, and he had no key to enter the house. As he stood outside the compound, confused and unsure of what to do, it was Auntie Nene that called him. Akin, come here and eat, she said warmly. I cook. Come and rest, my boy, she said, rubbing his head while they walked into her room. A hungry child does not know suspicion, so Akin followed her, and that day she served him food, helped him to relax, and even put cartoon on her TV for him to watch. And when he got home, he told his mom about it, and she smiled with relief. She was so happy that at least someone could help her son even in her absence. And from that day, since she was not always at home, she told Aiken that each time he returned from school, after eating his food, he should go and stay with Auntie Nene so that she can put an eye on him. And that was how the routine began. Every day after school, Aiken would go straight up to Auntie Nene's room. She would feed him with food. At times, they would even play and help him with his assignment. She will allow him to take a nap on the cushion. She will cover him gently with her wrapper until his mother returned at night to carry him to their home. And slowly, she became like a second caregiver to Akin. At first, it seems harmless, it seems helpful, it seems like a kindness. But behind that warm smile was a darkness that small children could not detect. Weeks turned into months. Mrs. Okoro trusted Auntie Nena deeper, as even his son Akin trust even more. He believed she cared for him, and Mrs. Okoro believed that his son was safe with Auntie Nene. But then, things began to change. Auntie Nene slowly stopped putting cartoons on the TV for Akin to watch. Instead, she would give him her phone and insisted that he watch certain videos on her phone. At first, the images were confused to Akin. He asked, Auntie, what was it? But she said, keep watching. And these videos did not look like anything meant for children. But she encouraged him, telling him that the videos were fine, that there was nothing wrong with it. And Akin, a little boy, did not understand. But he obeyed because, of course, she was an adult. And he trusted her, of course. And slowly, Auntie Nene started poisoning Akin's mind. Each time she take her bath, and after taking her bath, she would call Akin, Akin, come and help me to rub cream on my back. My hands cannot reach. At first, it sounded harmless. It sounded like just a simple favor. And innocently, Akin will do it joyfully. He did not know that danger was quietly stepping into his life unknowingly. And slowly, she stopped covering herself properly after taking her bath. She became bold. She became shameless. She started involving him in things he did not understand and things no child should ever experience, not even a 7 years old boy. One afternoon, after Akin had returned back from school, and as usual, Aunt Nene gave him food to eat and also put a video in her phone for him to watch. And by now, Akin have become so used to those videos. So, she went to the bedroom to take her bath. And after taking her bath, she called Aki to come inside the room. And when Aki came, she pulled him closer and pressed his face between her chest, forcing her breast to enter his mouth. Aki jumped out in fear and shouted, "Auntie, no, Auntie, no." But instead, she grabbed him firmly, her voice turning sharp. "Keep quiet. Don't tell your mommy. Don't tell anyone that I did this to you. Did you hear me?" She warned. And Aki shook his head and he said, "Go and keep watching your video." And slowly, Auntie Nene was poisoning Akin's mind with sex videotape on her phone. And Akin, being a little boy and being afraid, did not mention it to anybody. He keeps it as a secret. And the following day, when he returned from school, the same thing happened. But this time around, Auntie Nene, after taking her bath, she locked the door behind them and called Ake inside her room. And that was how a 40 years old Auntie Nene forced a 7 years old Akin to sleep with her in her room. Aki was scared. He was shattered. "You are a man, and I'm teaching you what men do. This is our secret. Didn't you enjoy it?" Aki was crying. "It's our secret. If you talk, each time you come back from school, you will stay outside and I will stop giving you food. You will no longer watch cartoon under my television. Did you hear me?" Aki shook his head in confusion and fear swallowed him. Confusion crippled him. He did not know what to say or what to do. He only knew she was older, stronger, and threatening him. And so the abuse continued, day after day, month after month, and years after years. While the world saw a small boy walking around innocently, a silent storm was growing inside of him. Aki changed in few ways that no one noticed. He became more quieter, more reserved. He carried fear inside of his heart like a heavy stone. He began losing interest in the things that he once enjoyed. He stopped playing football with his friends, and even in school, he became reserved. But because he was still young, he did not have the words to rightly express his pain. His mother did not know, and no one in the compound knew as well. Auntie Nene would always lock him inside, claiming that she was taking care of him. No one knew she was using small Aki to satisfy her sexual desire. Oh, what a wicked world we live in. What Auntie Nene did to him had buried something deep inside of him. It has buried fear he did not understand, shame he couldn't explain. He grew up thinking closeness with girls means danger, secret and pain. He did not understand what it means to be loved. He did not understand boundaries. He did not understand innocency or being close to any girl anymore. And still, he kept this in his heart without telling anyone. His mom noticed something was wrong with him, but she couldn't point out exactly what was wrong. Certainly, she knew that her son was different. He was too quiet, too reserved, and too distant from people. He never talked about what happened in school. He never mentioned a friend name in his school. And even when she brought up the matter of girls or other classmates, Akin would panic. "Akin, relax," she would say. "I did not say you should marry them. I'm only asking if you have classmates, if you mingle around with them, and what you people discuss." Akin would keep quiet without saying a word. He was trapped in confusion, in a battle that he did not have the right words to explain them. As Aki grew older, the trauma grew up with him. And due to the things that he had seen too early, the things that he was forced and exposed to, those things created restlessness inside of him that he did not understand. Sometimes he acted in ways that even him himself was shocked. He struggled to control his emotional urges. At times, he even masturbates even in class, and the emotions were far beyond his age. The consequences of his silent trauma finally exploded. After school hours, he remained in the classroom, and Cynthia, his classmate, who has been trying to get his attention, drew close to him and grabbed him in his shirt. She was trying to have emotional contact with him, but since Akin refused and tried to run, she started shouting at the top of her voice, and the school security rushed him, and he misread the whole situation entirely. He grabbed Akin by the collar, and the teachers gathered. Even some students peeped from the window. By morning, the entire school heard the incident. Akin was caught in an inappropriate act with Cynthia. Before he could process anything, the school had already called his mom and narrated what had happened. Miss Okoro cried like a bride that the groom refused to appear on their wedding day. Akin, please my son, tell me, what is happening with you? What have you turned into? How did you get here? She said, but Akin kept his head down. How could he explain something he never understood? How could he even speak when he did not know the right word to use or where to start? The school expelled him. No one knew the beginning of this story. No one knew the root of his struggle. No one knew the cause of this trauma. Mrs. Okoro tried everything possible to make Akin open up. She took him for different prayers and deliverance, but nothing made sense because the real cause of Akin's behavior was still hidden in the dark corner of his childhood. Akin continued to grow up into a young man, but his heart remained wounded. He avoided crowd and anyone who wants to build relationship with him. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't stop running away from girls, even when they were simply being friendly. Years passed, Akin's mother struggled, and Akin continued to hide until one day, everything changed. It happened unexpectedly. The mom did not go to the market that day because she was having fever. Akin had grown into an older, taller and more matured guy, and the mom sent him to their former compound to get something from the neighbor. And as he walked the compound, the past hit him just like a cold shadow, because there was sitting the same old bench, tying the same wrapper, smiling the same fake smile, was sitting Auntie Nene. The moment Anki saw Auntie Nene, his chest tightened. The memories flashed back within a twinkle of an eye. His hands were shaking, his legs felt weak, and his heart raced like a drum. And Auntie Nene turned and looked at Akin as if nothing ever happened. Akin, you are now a big boy now. Oh. Look at how big you are. You have now grown into a full big boy. Aki did not answer her. He just turned around and walked away very fast, almost running. And that night, as he laid in his bed, staring at the fan, as his heart was pounding faster, the 7-year-old boy inside of him was crying a cry that has been silent for years. He held his pillow tight and trembled. That night, he tried to sleep, but the memories refused to go away. In the middle of the night, Akin broke down completely. He cried and cried deeply. He cried the tears of the boy who have suffered silence for a long time. And for the first time in his lifetime, Akin decided to speak out, to speak about the trauma, why he has been silent for these years. He went to his mother's room and woke the mother up from the bed. He sat before her and said shakingly, "Mommy, I want to tell you something," he whispered. "I want to tell you something. It's about something that have happened to me when I was small." The mother turned slowly. Sleep immediately cleared from her eyes. "Akin, what is it? What happened to you? Tell me, my son, what happened to you? Are you okay?" Akin inhaled deeply. "Mommy, it's about Auntie Nene. What she used to do to me in our former compound. Each time I return from school, you kept me with her. But each time I come back, Aunt Nene will give me sex tape on her phone to watch. She forced me into sleeping with her. I tried to run, but she would lock the door. And she even warned me not to tell anybody that I was a man. And she was teaching me what men do. She warned me not to tell anyone. Since then, I've been traumatized. I've been living with those memories. I've been quiet. That is why I avoid everyone that comes my way." As he was still speaking, his mother broke down, Tears ran down from her face uncontrollable. My son, why didn't you tell me? She cried. She said I shouldn't tell anyone. She said even if I tell you, you will not believe because she was always bathing me, taking care of me and giving me food. She said I was a man. She said I should keep quiet, that she was teaching me on how to be a man. Mrs. Okoro clutched her chest. Akin, my son, I did not know. I did not see it. I was struggling to survive. Oh, my son, I have failed you. My child, please forgive me. They cried together, and that moment became the beginning of Aki's healing. The air in the room was heavy, and Aki and his mother held each other for a long time, both shaking and crying. It was a moment either of them could ever forget. And for the first time in his life, Aki felt lighter like dry leaves, like a chain had been cut off from his chest. The pain was still raw, still fresh, still burning. His childhood had returned with full force this time, and now the truth was out, and the healing had to begin immediately. Akin, listen to me, she said. What happened to you was not your fault. You were just a child. You trusted someone who was supposed to care for you. My son, you did nothing wrong. Trust me. But mommy, why me? Why did she do that to me? I was just a boy. I did not know anything and I trusted her. Aki's mother took a deep breath and hugged him again. My son, you are not alone. You have me, and starting from today, we will find a way to heal these wounds together, she reassured him. The next week, after countless tears and sleepless nights, Mrs. Okoro decided that Aki needed a professional help. She spoke to a counselor at the nearby youth center. She explained the situation with tears, and the woman agreed to help Aki privately. The first day Aki sat in the counseling room with so much confusion, he sat quietly, folding his hand and not knowing what to say. His head was deep on the ground with shame, and the young female counselor walked in. Akin, how are you doing? But his head was still on the floor. Well, feel relaxed. I'm not asking you anything. Relax, take a deep breath, and feel at home. This place is your home. You are welcome. Akin looked up slowly. For the first time, someone looked at him with understanding, without judging him. And after 1 week, Akin began sharing the story, the trauma, with the counselor. And little by little, the pain began to fall out. After listening to his story, the counselor said, Akin, the trauma made you believe that closeness means danger. Your mind is protecting you from the betray, but you will heal from it and you will learn to trust people again. Her words gave him hope. For the first time in years, Akin believed there was a solution for him, and his mother supported him too. She changed her working hours, reduced her market trip, and spent more time with him. Every night, she would sit beside him and talk and laugh, making sure that Akin was not in his healing journey alone. Akin, I may not have been there then. I am here now. I will not leave you again, she said. Healing did not happen in one day. It did not happen in 1 month, but it started. And that was the most important part. Akin began to understand himself. He began to see his reaction that they were trauma, not weaknesses. Healing is not a straightforward road. At times it's slow. It is painful, but healing is possible. Especially when a child family is there to support him. It gives that child assurance that they are not walking alone. As months rolled into a full year, Aki grew up more confidently. He began helping at the youth center, guiding younger boys and playing with them. He was also teaching them sex education. One day, the counselor asked him, Akin, would you love to share your story with the boys? You don't have to go into details. The boys need to hear from your story and learn from it. Akin inhaled deeply as he thought of the little boy he used to be and how hurt he had felt. He did not realize that he had grown past that stage and now he was full of confidence. And he said, yes, I would love to share my story. And Ike began speaking to the group of boys. He explained the whole story and he remembered every details. And in conclusion, he told them, if anyone ever touches you in any way, wrongly, and you did not understand, speak out. If you ever feel uncomfortable, speak out. Don't be scared. Your parents will believe you. Don't say you are weak. Don't say you are stupid. You are not a bad child. You are only a child and you deserve protection. Akin realized something powerful that day. His pain had become his voice. His story had become a lamp for others to follow. Dear parents, this story is not just about Akin. It is about every child who has suffered silence. It's about every boy child who was told to be strong. Every boy child who was told to keep a secret that they were never meant to keep. Pay attention to your children. Ask your children questions. Be present in their life, no matter how busy and tight your schedules are. A child's silence is not always innocent. Sometimes it is fear. And remember, sexual abuse is not just for girls alone. The boy child also suffer this too, and most of them are still living in silence up till today. Let us protect them equally. Let us listen to them. Let us create a safe space for our children, because behind every silent child, there's always a story the world needs to hear. If you are still hearing my voice till now, I want to say thank you so much for staying to the end. Thank you. I did not take your support for granted. And if you are yet to subscribe, kindly do so to help me support my growth. And I did not take your support for granted. See you in my next video. Bye.